welcome to What Are You Reading, a podcast with the Public Library of Mount Vernon in Knox County. My name is Christie.
And I'm Katie.
And this month we're celebrating America's 250th birthday. So we just had the 4th of July. The big summer blowout was super fun. Hopefully you all had a safe and happy 4th of July. And we knew this was coming out later, but we still wanted to embrace that spirit because this entire year has really been a celebration of the birth of America. So we decided to loosely theme our books off of the United States of America and what that could mean to all of us. And so my pick might seem a little out of pocket, but I'll explain it as we go. I chose one of my favorite favorite celebrities of all time, Kitchen Confidential by Anthony Bourdain. And if you aren't familiar, he is a chef. He was a travel show host. And he was just such a great example of if you're just willing to sit down and listen and chat over a good meal, you can make connections all around the world and here at home. So that was kind of my thoughts behind that. What did you pick?
So mine is a little bit more on the nose. It occurs to me that I Am America, and it's edited by Jonathan Santlofer. Sorry if I messed up your last name. And this was birthed out of a election that was from a somewhat recent, but not, from the not too distant past. As a result of the result of that election, people felt the need to speak out. So you might be able to tell, but probably not. There are many, many, many authors and
wow. Yeah, there are a lot listed here.
And artists who contributed to this. And it's all, I would hate to say that it's kind of like the American dream, but it's kind of like the American dream on its head.
Okay.
So this one has probably a lot of trigger warnings because it deals a lot with racism. It deals with immigration. All those political buzzwords are in here. So if that's something that's not your jam, I wouldn't do it. But it's very thought-provoking, and that's why, I'm not even halfway through.
Look at all your tabs.
Yeah, and I've got a bunch of tabbies.
For those of you listening at home or on Spotify, wherever you listen to us, Katie's book is full of multicolored tabs.
Just because there are, so many... I was doing references to the American dream because that was the catalyst for our book choice. And there are just so many little nuggets everywhere. So they're short stories, there's artwork, there's poetry.
Yeah, I just saw some blackout poetry.
Yeah, so some blackout poetry that's actually the Declaration of Independence.
Wow.
So, read into that as you will.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this story called The Party by Bliss Broyard, which the whole gist of the story ostensibly is there's this party of kind of the elite in terms of academia. And it takes place during the time that of the Obama administration, and they're expecting Obama and Michelle to show up to this party. But then he ends up not coming because it happened to be the same day as Ted Kennedy's funeral. But there's all of this stuff. And the main character is described as a junkie for significance. And the part that I saved was in response to that. So you think I'm a junkie for significance too? I'm saying that we all fall short of our ideals. It's part of our American legacy. But that doesn't mean we should stop caring and trying. And I think that is a good synopsis for this book as a whole. So it covers like all walks of life. And I mean, we like to believe that we're a big melting pot. Mm-hmm. And so they made sure that, at least so far, they represent a lot of underrepresented people. Mm-hmm. So as well as the majority. But yeah, it's a really interesting read. It is not light reading, mm-hmm. because it talks about our shortcomings, mm-hmm. as well as like, I just read one while I was on my lunch break before this, that took place, in Bulgaria, but like 2 Americans in Bulgaria. And then the last one that I read before I came in here was, at somewhere else that had like French, I think, names, but not France, where like one of the characters had been betrothed to a man when she was 6 years old. Or, mm-hmm. I mean, like, he's a man now, but like, mm-hmm. they were both 6 years old and was like, this is your husband.
Wow.
And it's like, that's something that like in America primarily, we get to pick our mates when we're ready for that.
Yes.
And it's not like a done deal.
Right.
So like some of the things, because not all of these take place in America, mm-hmm. but there's an American in there.
Yeah.
Then it becomes like, that's something we take for granted.
Right.
Or some of them take it to the extreme. There was a story that was basically a homegrown terrorist, for lack of a better term, mm-hmm. because he felt strongly about something and it became, whether it was intentional or not, he wound up with people who were like, well, we're gonna bomb and we're gonna do all of this to get our point across. So, like I said, heavy. It is worth a read. The artwork is very like thought-provoking too. So yeah, there's another one.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And there's even some comics in here too.
Okay, neat.
That you just read it and you're like, oh, okay. Yeah. So I do recommend reading it. Hopefully by the time this airs, I will have returned it.
And then you can check it out.
And then you can check it out. Because like I said, it's definitely worth a read if you want to think about and respond to America and our ideals and like where we are right now.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's good that, it is showing patriotism. It is showing the wonderful things that we have about this country, mm-hmm. but it's also not shying away from the discussion about some of the things mm-hmm. that we'd like to improve on, mm-hmm. or some of the things that we would like to change as well, mm-hmm. to match our ideals. Mm-hmm. So I think that that's really important to have both of those things coexisting, mm-hmm. to really give you a full picture of America and what it means to these authors and artists. Mm-hmm. And I like, too, that it has them listed. Usually mm-hmm. it does. But if you have a favorite story or a favorite author, you can, just mm-hmm. kind of pick and choose as well. So yeah, this wouldn't necessarily have to be a page 1 to the end.
Yes.
You could pick and choose if you mm-hmm. wanted to as well.
And it is not with the art, but the stories and poetry and things like that. It's alphabetical order by the author's last name.
Oh, nice.
So, and then the artwork is kind of interfiled. Mm-hmm. So, I'm not sure if that is also, I haven't paid attention to the artist names to see if it is close enough attention that I know if that is also in alphabetical order, but it's not like alphabetical order with the authors. Mm-hmm. So,
well, and I love that it's mixed media too, because that is also really fun to have that mixture in there of stories, and poetry, and art.
And they're all different lengths. I had one. There was the story with like the homegrown terrorist. I thought it would never end. It was so long. But then you would have like Mary Higgins Clark, one of my favorites, has one in here, and it's like 2.5 pages.
Oh, wow. Neat.
So there's great diversity in many different ways in this book.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I even saw Neil Gaiman has a story in there. He's a British author, but spends most of his time here in the States. So that's really interesting.
Yeah, and I think at least a few of them are maybe first generation Americans, and some that have been Americans for a very long time.
Wow.
So
very neat.
Yeah, it's really thought-provoking and interesting, but if you're looking for a woo, America, maybe not this one.
Well, I'm glad that, you were able to find some really cool things already, and you're halfway through. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I want to check out that Blackout Poetry.
Yes, you definitely need to do that.
That looks so cool.
Some of these tabbies are what I'm going to talk to Christie about once we're off air.
I can't wait. Well, as I mentioned before, huge fan of Anthony Bourdain. And the reason I picked him is because one of the things that I think about with America is the melting pot, right? How we come from all over the world, and we've created something really beautiful by working together. And that is what Anthony Bourdain did with food. So he was able to bring together people. He famously eats, a bowl of pho with President Obama, in I think Cambodia or something like that. So he met with dignitaries. He met with people who were living on the street, and he never met a stranger. And he never met a food he wouldn't try, So I wanted to really learn more about him. And I think Kitchen Confidential, written by him from his perspective, which is a mix of autobiography and restaurant critique and, just the life of a chef. So this book is so interesting because, first of all, he writes exactly how he spoke. So I am also listening to the audiobook, which I 1,000% recommend. But he writes how he speaks. So when you're reading it, you can hear him, you can see him in every word. And there is a section that I picked, and I will say, trigger warning, if you're picking this up, that he does use adult language. It is Anthony Bourdain. If you know anything about chefs, it can get kind of raunchy and kind of, off color, if you will. But one of the things that he mentions is, which I think is great with this book, he said, "Of course, there's every possibility this book could finish me in the business. There will be horror stories, heavy drinking, drugs, screwing the dry goods area, unappetizing revelations about bad food handling and unsavory industry-wide practices, talking about why you probably shouldn't order fish on a Monday, or why those who favor well done get the scrapings from the bottom of the barrel, and why the seafood frittata is not a wise brunch selection won't make me any more popular with potential future employers. My naked contempt for vegetarians, sauce on the ciders, the lactose intolerant, and the cooking for the Ewok-like Emeril Lagasse is not going to get me my own show on the Food Network," which I think is hilarious because he ends up getting his show on CNN.
So he was partially right.
He was partially right. He did end up getting his own show by being this person, right? By always being himself and being true to the experience. And I thought it was really fun that he mentions it's all here, the good, the bad, the ugly. The interested reader might, on the one hand, find out how to make professional-looking and tasting plates with a few handy tools, and on the other hand, decide never to order the mollets mariniers ever again. So this is just such a fantastic read, and I think that it is such a really amazing look at the American life of the people that cook our food. Thinking of He's in Hell's Kitchen. He's a New Yorker. Mm-hmm. He is going from wiping down tables to, becoming the sauce prepper, mm-hmm. to becoming the sous chef, mm-hmm. to then becoming the chef, to becoming the restaurateur, mm-hmm. and then becoming the TV show host and the mm-hmm. world traveler, mm-hmm. and all of those amazing things that he did. And all because his dream did not work out. So mm-hmm. Anthony famously wanted to be a writer. He wanted to be a newspaperman. And he got the call at the last minute that the funding didn't go through, that, he didn't get in, and couldn't afford to, chase his dream. Mm-hmm. So he found a new dream. Mm-hmm. And that is something uniquely American, I think, is mm-hmm. that we do have, and something we've been talking about with 250, the freedoms that we do have mm-hmm. To kind of pick our life path, and the dream that if you work hard enough, you can attain whatever you want. And mm-hmm. during Anthony's lifetime, that was still possible. Mm-hmm. So I think it's important to, share that, and to just see how beautiful his life really was. Mm-hmm. And I got so much enjoyment out of it. I just absolutely adore him. So mm-hmm. It was really nice to revisit this, because this is a little older. This is an older book. This predates a lot of what we know about him today, mm-hmm. but it's still just such an awesome journey mm-hmm. that you're getting to hear him in his own words. Mm-hmm. And how he got his start, which is just really cool. Yeah. And it definitely made me rethink of a couple of things on the menu. There's always those jokes about maybe you don't get the mushroom soup. Well, mm-hmm. Anthony tells you all the stuff you shouldn't get.
That's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah. There's lots of great pictures too. And just, mm-hmm. He really is just an absolute rock star, and mm-hmm. he always treated it that way, mm-hmm. Which I really loved about him too. So yeah, I definitely recommend this one if you want the portrait of, he says the adventures in the culinary underbelly, but I really say that, the underbelly of American, of the American dream. So
yeah. And it's, another testament to being American, although we don't own it. Yeah. Is the resiliency.
Yes.
Because you're right. He could have sat down and threw a nice pity party, because it's I wanted to do this and I can't. Mm-hmm. But he's I guess I gotta find something else to do.
Absolutely.
So and that's what we even in our lifetime, America's been through some stuff.
Oh yeah. So, even in the 40 years that we've been here, mm-hmm. We've seen so much, and mm-hmm. We keep getting up. Mm-hmm. We live in a post-Columbine, a post-9/11 society where we have seen some really terrible things, and we still get up the next day, and mm-hmm. we still keep going, and we still fight for a better tomorrow. Mm-hmm. And I think that is also, something that everyone shares around the world, but America specifically, I think we're really good at keep calm and carry on. Thank you, British, to the England for mm-hmm. that one. But, we really do. We really do get up and just keep fighting. Mm-hmm. And Anthony is a great example of getting to do that in having a really long career. And unfortunately, he did leave us too soon. But, again, he lived such a beautiful life, and it was so full of so many amazing experiences. And mm-hmm. I was such a huge fan of his shows, mm-hmm. And to this day still watch them. So because I love seeing an American experience different cultures and connecting with people all over the world, mm-hmm. coming home, connecting with people here, mm-hmm. And bringing all of those beautiful things back here and sharing them with us. Mm-hmm. So, and that just adds right back into that American tapestry, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So 10 out of 10. Loved it. Mm-hmm. Had a lot of fun with it. Mm-hmm. But yes, trigger warning for some crass mm-hmm. Language and things like that. But it is truly just a rock and roll food journey, mm-hmm. and I love it.
That's awesome.
Yes. So thank you guys. Thanks for mm-hmm. joining us. This was a really intense but fun month.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and it was really great celebrating America all month long. And stay tuned for next month, because we actually had one of you guys reach out to us and suggest that we read a title. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be discussing a couple books that were recommended by you guys. So it's going to be a lot of fun next month. So stay tuned, and we'll see you then. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.